Jose, what is the biggest mistake employees make that leads to them not growing in their career?
I would say the biggest mistake that most employees make is just kind of like showing up, doing bare minimum, and being like a paycheck person. So showing up, doing what's required, and kind of just stopping at that.
So we're here with Jose. He is one of the, I would say, first employees that is on the engaged personal training side of my business that has grown through every single stage of the organization so far. So he started as an intern. He accepted a part-time job, grew to a full-time job, grew to being the head trainer at a facility, and now he's in the facility leader position at our newest location. And I want to kind of interview you and talk about, like, what are the things that you did to grow? And this was in what time period?
2 years exactly.
2 years exactly,
Yeah.
from graduating college to being in that facility leader role.
Yeah.
Why don't you introduce yourself and give a little bit of background about yourself and who you are?
Yeah, my name's Jose Rivera. I was born. No, I was kidding. But graduated from Westchester in the summer or spring of 23, exercise science degree. And then from there, I had my internship with Devin. I had to complete a certain amount of hours and went from intern to part-time. I worked in Collegeville under Joe Canese, the facility leader over there. He taught me a lot of stuff. And then from there, I grew to that head trainer role. And then I kind of knew I wanted more, but wasn't entirely sure what the next step was. So I talked with Joe, I talked with you guys, and then you guys kind of got me ready to go from like full-time head trainer to facility leader. So just like giving me more work to do, giving me just more more work and more just trust to do and grow the company as well. So when Joe went on vacation, like it was my job to kind of take over the gym and run it for a week, and then that's when I really realized like, oh, this is like very doable, and I would like to see myself in this position in the future.
Yeah. So you graduated Westchester, you took an internship. Where was your head at? So I want to make sure I get the context of this. My hope with this episode is that people leave with an understanding of, from an owner's perspective, why we saw Jose as totally as promotable. Like every single stage of business, we looked at him, we're like, I know I can give you the keys to something, and he'd step up and get the job done. My hope is that I can share this with other people that are in our company that want to continue growing, or anybody that is listening that is an employee or wants to share this with your employees, giving like from an owner's perspective, this is what makes somebody promotable. So you joined us as an intern. Where was your head at during that time period?
So when I first had joined as an intern, it was right after college, so I didn't have many leads, like job-wise. Like I wasn't too sure what I can do with this degree. I had looked at like the YMCA for like a personal training job, but I didn't really see those as like sustainable careers with growth in them. So when I had the intern, my expectation was to show up, do the minimum, but also exceed the expectations when I was given the opportunity.
So let me ask you, when you're in college and you graduated with exercise science, so you wanted to pursue this as a career, what are the options that they give you in school? Like, are they like, these are the routes that you can go? What are the career paths?
Yeah, so like honestly, we're like 90% of the people with my major were like the strength and conditioning side of things. So working with like athletes, but working with teams. And I wasn't really, well, at first I was kind of into that. And then
Everybody is at first.
I was into that and I was like, yeah, it's not like the long days, long nights, traveling weeks. I'm like, nah, I don't really want to do that. But I had a meeting with my advisor, and he was a personal trainer in the past, so he kind of opened up that path for me. And then he talked about like certifications, all the things that you can do with the personal training like certification, and that was a lot more interesting for me.
Cool. And I think a lot of people go like the medical route, like the cardiac route, right?
Yeah, like exercise physiologist type deal.
Yeah, just for, if you're listening and you're a younger coach, to your what was the like tipping point for making that decision from like strength conditioning, collegiate, whatever team route to this direction? Like, were there like a pros and cons list that you went back and forth on to make your decision?
Honestly, not really, no. It was just like the opportunity that I had at the time was a personal training opportunity. I didn't really have a whole lot of stuff on like the strength and conditioning side. I was more educated and more comfortable doing the personal training stuff.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So you joined as an intern. You wanted to exceed expectations. So how did you do that during your internship?
Yeah, so like showing up on the days I wasn't scheduled to be there, like showing up early, Starting to move and coach sessions alone earlier than most interns would. Just asking for more to do. So like asking the other coaches, like, what can I do? Like prepping the session beforehand, staying afterhand, but just being in the gym as often as possible and just seeking opportunities for growth.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, from our perspective, all we saw was like, man, Jose's here all the time.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. And we had other interns at the same time
Yeah.
that, when it came to like offering jobs to people, like we chose you, and that goes a long way. It had probably less to do with how good you were at the X's and O's of training as much as it was like, he's here on time. Yeah. I don't think you've ever been late once. Have you ever been late?
No. Actually, I was late one time. That was like, we won't talk about it.
Almost never been late. And again, just reliable. He's around. And the biggest thing that he was asking for more. He was asking how he could do more.
Yeah.
So when it came to Jose's going to leave his internship, again, as the owner, we were like, we got to find something for this guy.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have anything. We had a part-time job in our Collegeville location, and so you took that. So walk me through that. Like, why choose that versus anything else?
Yeah, it was cool too. Like towards the end of my internship, I kept getting questions like, "Hey, are you sticking in the area? Like, what are you doing after this?" So it kind of like turned the light bulb on. Like, oh, maybe they want to like offer me something. But yeah, going from like intern, I sat down with Jeff. We talked about like the possible routes that I can go with, and he was like, "Yeah, we got this part-time job. Like, we just opened up a gym in Collegeville. We're looking for some help. Would you be interested in doing that?" At first, I was a little skeptical because the hours were on like the lighter side, and I was like living in Westchester, didn't have like a whole ton of money, so I needed to make money, and with like the workload, I was like, I'm not too sure if I should do it, but I went with it. I was also applying at other places at the same time to try and work 2 jobs, but I sat down with Joe. Joe's like, yeah, like we stick this out. We're going to take care of you. So just kind of like grind it out to start with. But starting off around like, I think it was like maybe 15 to 20 hours a week I was down there. But yeah.
All right. So again, and you accelerated.
Yeah.
So again, a lot of people would take that part-time job and be like, all right, this is it. How did you go from part-time to full-time? Like, how did you make sure that you accelerated that path?
Yeah. Well, 1, I had to make enough money to pay rent, so like I needed more to begin with.
Right.
And 2, I felt like I was capable of doing more than what I was currently doing. So it was just like the bare minimum for me was just like show up, coach a couple sessions, and then do some outreach.
But that's the job you were hired for, was just show up and coach.
Yeah, and then I was always asking Joe, like, hey, what can I do to help you bring some people into the door? Like, what can I do to help you bring trials in on the membership side of things? And then from there, like, Joe saw that I wanted more, so then he started to supply me with more things to do. And then as I grew, the gym grew, and more opportunities arise as well.
So, like, what are the things as a part-time employee that you started to take on and, like, you felt like made an impact on the business?
Yeah, so I would just pretty much just ask, like, what is like the lowest hanging fruit that I can go ahead and do that's going to help Joe move the needle forward? So one was just like billing stuff. So billing, scheduling on MindBody, that kind of stuff. Like follow up with leads and trials before and afterwards, like trial confirmation calls.
Yeah.
But taking some of that stuff off his plate so he can go do bigger things that are going to help the gym grow. And I can also help myself grow by taking some of the stuff that can be delegated towards me.
Yeah. And listen, you kind of spoke it out, but just to reiterate that point, one of the best things employees can do anywhere, not just our industry, but anywhere, is just look at your boss, the owner, and see things that they're doing that you could possibly do.
Yeah.
Usually stuff that you don't think that they like doing or that maybe they're not the best at, and just offer to take that off their hands. And do it. You weren't paid more for that.
No, yeah.
Doing stuff like that. It's easy for me to say as an owner because it's like, hey, we didn't pay more for that. But the truth is, like, the God's honest truth is, like, the reality of life and business and jobs is like sometimes you just gotta do shit you're not paid for, and like that's what's going to open the door to getting paid for it. The other person that's ascended to every single role in my company is Jeff Schumacher, and that's exactly how he did it. He literally just started doing stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, he's doing that now? Like, that's cool. And then eventually he was like, hey, can this just be part of my job? Like, I've been doing this for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And in turn, usually when you take stuff off, my plate or your boss's plate, they can go make more money for the business that there is in turn more for you.
Yeah.
So just a note to any listeners, like, because I think some people get that paycheck mentality where it's like, well, that's not my job description. Like, that's not what I'm being paid for. It's like, okay, that's an attitude that's going to probably keep you exactly where you're at as a part-time employee.
100%. I feel like too, like some of the things, or one of the things that helped me a lot was like just understanding and knowing what I wanted. Like I feel like people get very lost in what they actually want, but I had a solid vision, and I knew that like, oh, in order for me to make this a sustainable career, like I gotta like work my tail off, do what I have to do more than I have to do to help myself grow and succeed as well.
Yeah, having a good vision. So you went from part-time. What was the like tipping point that you were able to, obviously it had to do with the success of the gym. When we got to a certain point, we were able to give you more hours. But again, it came down to like us seeing you and be like, yeah, obviously we're going to put Jose in versus somebody else. Was there anything that you did from part-time to full-time that like solidified that, or you feel like was the tipping point?
I'm not sure at what point in time Joe had left on his vacation, but I feel like that's like the most memorable thing that I can think of that got me from like head trainer or part-time to full-time to the next level. But when Joe had left on vacation,
So explain the whole situation.
Yeah, so I was either part-time or just moving to full-time at Engage Collegeville. The facility leader, Joe Knie, had left on vacation, and he was gone for a week, which meant I had to coach all the sessions and do all. He was
gone for 2 weeks.
Oh, was it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
He was gone for a while. And I was in there, so I saw that originally as like, damn, now I have to coach every single session, drive 40 minutes to work, 5:30 a.m. But I also saw it as a way that I can take the keys and drive the gym forward. So, like, doing things that Joe was doing to help build the gym, like running a Bring a Friend week, lead trial follow-up, just trying to book trials, but do the things that Joe was doing as a facilitator, as a head trainer while he was away to help, one, grow the gym, but two, give Joe some traction when he came back from vacation so that we can continue to grow at the rate that we were.
Yeah. I mean, listen, every manager, speaking on like what are things that as an employee you can do, every manager and owner's nightmare is like that feeling of when they go on vacation, like either everything stops or it backslides.
Yeah, that was like my number one thing was I didn't want the progress to stop, and I didn't want Joe to come back to a gym that was worse than it was when he left.
Yeah, and we had a conversation. You came up to me and we had a conversation, and I was like, all right, here's some things that I think you could do. And you ran a Bring a Friend week.
Yeah.
And like, what were the results of that?
We had a couple trials booked. I'm not entirely sure on the concrete numbers, but I think I had like 4 or 5 trials booked, and we sold like 1 or 2 memberships. But just a quick message, a post in a Facebook group ended up being a lot more than just a quick post and message.
Yeah, and that was kind of, you know, your own test of like, all right, the next position, I think you were full-time at the time. The next position is like a facility leader job that you would have to be doing that stuff anyway. So again, it was a really good test for you to be like, I'm going to see how this goes, and you succeeded.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we're happy if a facility leader generates 5 trials in a week and closes 2 memberships on their own without help of sales and marketing. So that's, you know, you took a swing and it worked. But honestly, even if it didn't work, even if it totally flopped, I would have put that in my like back of my head being like, hey, he's willing to take swings. Yeah. Hey, he saw an opportunity and he took advantage of it.
Yeah.
And I think that means just as much as the results that you got.
100%.
So you're full-time now. What are you doing in a full-time job? What was your vision for, what did you want?
So at some point during my internship, someone mentioned that you were looking to open up a ton of gyms. And in my head, I'm like, oh, one of those gyms, I'm going to be running one of those gyms. So that was always like the big vision there. We would have like meetings, and you would always talk about make your vision very clear on what you wanted and your growth within the next 10 years about opening up 100 gyms. But yeah, I saw that as like a opening for me is pretty much get my way into one of these gyms as well.
Cool. So you're full-time at Collegeville. What were you doing during that time to try to secure the next step?
Yeah, so obviously doing my job and doing it well, but also connecting with Joe every week. We have meetings. We talk about what he can delegate towards me to help me grow and push forward as well. So again, back to like the membership sales, trial and lead follow-up, trial and confirmation calls, like going out and continuing to learn as well. So like seeking opportunities to grow.
Yeah. So one of the things that I can speak on from you is you, and I think one of the things that most people don't do is you asked for the next step.
Yeah.
Like you were very upfront because you had a clear goal and you had a clear vision, and you were like, hey, I want to be a facility leader. This is something that, again, we talk about a lot of goal setting with employees and stuff like that. A lot of people stop short of putting that out there because they know if they put it out there as something that this is what I want, this is my goal, and they fail, now it's because they weren't good enough, or there's, they have to face that reality that like, shoot, maybe I wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
So a lot of people avoid that future potential pain and just stay playing small.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, I'll take whatever you give me, or like, I don't know, like whatever, I'll do whatever. But you were very direct, and you were like, I want to be a facility leader. Like, what do I have to do to get there? And we told you, we're like, this is what we need to see. Don't be late or I'll fire you.
Yeah.
These are all the things that you need to do. And again, it was like you were always doing it. Like, hey, when's the next gym? Like, I want that to be me. And we have lots of options. We can hire outside. There's lots of people that we could have elevated. And it was because we're like, one, Jose is asking this question. He's asking for it. He wants it. And you had a crazy track record of like everything that we gave you, you were able to do.
Yeah. I think too, like a big part that helped me was like, one, the confidence you guys had in me. I'm pretty sure you guys never doubted like my ability to do anything. And two, you guys always made it clear that you wanted us to make it clear that we wanted to know what we wanted, pretty much, if that makes any sense. Like, you're always pushing us to tell you guys, like, if you guys want to grow, like, make sure you guys let us know. That way we can make it happen. There was never a point where it was like, oh, like, let's have this conversation later. It was always like, yeah, you want this? We can talk about it now, and then we'll move forward.
Yeah. And listen, there's not one path to growth that's best for everybody. Like, you were clear on, like, you wanted to be full-time, you wanted to be a facility leader. Some other people, like, might say that, and we've seen it. It's not the right fit for everybody. Like, it's not a job that everybody should have. I mean, you're in it right now. You're a solo facility leader. Like, it might break some people.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But I think you have more, you're born for it more. Can you speak to that on, like, again, from your perspective as an employee, how you came to this is the path that I want to go versus, you could just be like a specialist trainer. You could be a social media influencer, online coach. Like, was there anything that you did to like come to like, that's the path that I want to go on?
It was just the most realistic path, to be honest. It's the path that had the most reps in. It was what I was close to achieving at the time. Like, maybe in the future something pops up, I'll take it, but that's pretty much what I had on the table.
All right, cool. So now you're a facility leader. Launched your own gym.
Yeah.
Where's your head at now? Like, what are you thinking now in terms of like, obviously you got to get your gym to full capacity. But where's your head now in terms of like, because I assume you're not just going to rest on your laurels and be like, this is my job forever.
No, like, honestly, I'm trying to fill this gym up as fast as I can. So get to 120 members I can. We had our quarterly with Jeff. 3 sales a week is the goal, and it's been working pretty well. But yeah, just get a full gym. I want to be able to have a coach that I can trust that can also take on plenty of work and I can delegate things towards as well, and then honestly building a great community within that gym.
Yeah, and that's the next step. We're in the process of hiring right now. So I would imagine that your next step is learning how to be a good boss.
Yeah, 100%. Leadership. I have a couple of books that need to knock some dust off, but I got a couple in the house.
Yeah, cool. Well, any last words for anybody, any employee listening, or even a boss listening, a owner or a manager listening, from your perspective, that would be good for anybody listening to hear?
I would say as an employee, like, don't be afraid to ask for more, especially if you know you're capable of doing it. And when the opportunity does arise, like, just make the most out of it. So go swinging and hit some home runs. And then on, like, the leadership side of things, like, have trust and confidence in your employees, and that goes a long way. Trusting and relying on your employees gives them a lot more confidence to do the things that you want them to do.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jose. This is great.
Thanks, Devin.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this content, make sure that you like and subscribe to get more of the content that you want to see about growing your fitness business. You can click any of the videos here to see other episodes, but I want to hear from you. So drop some comments into other content that you would like to see.